Every once in a while, a wise guy in the audience yelled, "Hey, where's Diana Ross?" which would shake her confidence. People still do this to me today. They're gonna heckle her. Where's Diana Ross? I don't know where Diana is, but I know your mammy just got hit by a bus. Love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue reading Mary Wilson's Supreme Faith. I don't know what the cover is, but you know what we're reading. So let me apologize in advance because the boys are right here in my lap. The little one just got neutered. So if you hear some snoring, just know that the Hines brothers wore each other out from practice all this morning. So they're finally taking a rest, okay? Do not charge this snoring to my video. Those of you who've been around a long while, y'all know that y'all know about it. It seemed pointless for us to be out on the road earning so little. It actually cost us money to play dates like this when that time should have been spent at home refining the act, cutting some good records, and by our absence creating a demand. Our contract with Motown was coming up for renewal. For the first time, I didn't automatically assume we would re-sign. So you don't have a hit, but Motown is still funding you. I know it doesn't make sense to Mary that she should be at home spending time with her family, practicing, coming up with new ways to reinvent the Supremes, but you still have to bring in some kind of capital. You may not be getting paid a lot, but Motown has to recoup the money that they're still putting out for you. I believe Mary Wilson just did not understand the business, as a lot of artists don't. Mary Wilson and a lot of Motown acts were so spoiled, not my words, Tony Turner's words, but I do agree, that why would she automatically think that Berry Gordy would just be like, okay, let's sign the Supremes again? Why wouldn't he do his checks and balances to see whether or not they're costing the business more money? Like, if it's not totaling out, if I'm not making a profit off of you, why are you still here? Yes, this is a family, and that's what Mary Wilson and a lot of the Motown acts felt. This is a family. You should keep me just because I'm your family. Hell, you do it for the Smokey Robinson, but who knows what kind of things that him and Smokey Robinson have done together, or what kind of secrets were held. Mary Wilson and Berry Gordy does not have the same dynamic as a Smokey Robinson and Berry Gordy, or a Diana Ross and a Berry Gordy. She just is not a good gamble. And I'll leave it right there. Money was getting tighter. In December, we opened in New Orleans to a half-filled room. Whoever that promoter was is not going to book y'all again, because they know you're not going to pack the house. And how is that Berry Gordy's fault? And just because you have a song, well, pause. I'm talking a lot. Sorry, y'all. But I understand what Mary is saying. They're not pushing our album because, like a mother, hunchy, that goddamn Beyonce team will force you to like a song. This ain't Texas. Woo! It was getting harder and harder to maintain momentum. We never knew what we were going to find, and the unpredictability of it all began wearing on us. Jean took it the hardest, or at least showed it the most. There were nights on stage when she just wasn't into it, and the fans knew it. People remarked to me that she seemed cold and distant. Now I see that a lot of what she was experiencing was fear. She sometimes looked as if the weight of the Supremes was crushing her. Every once in a while, a wise guy in the audience yelled, "Hey, where's Diana Ross?" which would shake her confidence. People still do this to me today. They're gonna heckle her. Where's Diana Ross? I don't know where Diana is, but I know your mammy just got hit by a bus. I was on Jean's side, but I still wonder if she realized how much I wanted her to stay and be happy. Not just for the Supremes, but for herself. If I tried talking to her about anything, such as being more discreet with the press, she took it personally. I wasn't attacking her or her beliefs. I was only trying to help her. If I asked her to just give in a little bit, she would say, "I can't do what they're asking. It's okay for you, Mary, but it's not good enough for me." I don't think that Jean respected Mary Wilson because she was such a pushover. Jean wanted more. Mary can't be mad at Jean to want to grow outside the scope of Motown's conformities. And Jean can't be mad at Mary for being okay with being crushed by the Motown. Linda was still new enough to be excited just being there. I knew that whether there were 10,000 people in the audience or 10, you had to be on. Each person in the room has to believe not only that you're happy to be there, but that you're happy to be there for him or her. It's a giving of yourself. Jean sometimes felt that simply being there was all she could give. In early 1973, I went to the Noun Grove to see the Four Tops, a group that I never missed seeing. That goddamn Fakir. That Dookie Fakir. Okay, might be a chance that he might drop some ding-along in them drawers. They'd recently signed with ABC Records, and after 2 years of flop singles on Motown, had a top 10 hit with Keeper of the Castle. Similarly, Gladys Knight and the Pips bolted from Motown to Buddha Records and immediately went to #1 with Midnight Train to Georgia, launching a string of gold records. We wish them all the best, but until then, no ex-Motowners ever did as well or better anyplace else. Among record companies, Motown was unique, and most of the artists who left found they needed its extensive support system. Going back to Tony Turner told y'all that Berry Gordy spoiled them. Okay, them people expected way too much. The only person that got to come up was that Diana Ross. RCA gave her $20 million. $20 million. Okay? Drake ain't even getting that kind of money, girl. Motown was unique, and most of the artists who left found they needed its extensive support system. Mary Wells, Barry's first female star, had 4 top 10 hits, including the #1 classic, My Guy. But after leaving Motown in the mid-60s, never had another. There's been lots of speculation why. Some thought her head got too big. Others contend that Motown's arms were too long. Whatever the reason, Motown pointed to her example whenever someone asked too many questions or got out of line. For years, most of us had overlooked or minimalized how badly Motown treated us. As they say, you can't argue with success. But now the label's golden touch has started to tarnish. Acts that got attention, such as Diane, the Jackson 5, the Temptations, and Stevie Wonder did well. As the Motown ship began sinking, the rest of us went down with it. In 1972, the label placed only 4 singles in the top 10, a far cry from the heady success of the 60s. But few of us were brave enough to abandon the family. Baby, baby, baby. And you want them to kiss your ass? Motown out here scrimping and a scraping. So this is the thing. Motown is going through a change in the 70s. Remember, in the 60s, they controlled the charts. Okay? It was all Motown. Whereas the 70s, they're not assimilating well to the 70s sound. Thank God for artists like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder who convinced Barry to allow them to produce themselves. Because remember, Berry Gordy was like, no, we got in-house songwriters, producers that can do everything, which in turn just means that I don't want to pay you to do what I'm paying these ninjas right here to do. Okay, you ain't gonna make but so much money. But you're in a time in the 70s where if your top artist, Marvin Gaye, stop, baby, you being annoying. Where Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder are not producing, it's not hits being made. Now, yes, the Commodores came aboard in 1975. I'm not sure how long it took them to get their first hit. I don't believe that when Commodores came in, they came in with a hit. It was the Rickety James that literally saved Motown. Let me tell you the Rickety James story. Remember when Rick James had came there when he was with the Bluebirds or the Blackbirds or the Birds Cry or something like that? And Motown was like, oh no, I don't want no parts of these non-niggas and that nigga. I don't want no part of them. And Rickety James said, well, then kiss my ass. And then when he came back, he saved Motown. Motown was headed down, down, down. And the Supremes, i.e. Murray Wilson, wants them to save her before they save themselves. That's like, okay, the plane going down. The stewardess then told you to put the mask on yourself first before you put the mask on somebody else. Why the fuck would they save you when they can't even save themselves? Now, some of y'all Murray Wilson fans are mad at me. Y'all think that I have an issue with Murray Wilson. I really don't. Trust me. If I do not have respect for the artist, I will not read their book. I'm being real with Murray Wilson the same way I would be real with anybody in life, my own siblings. I admit I was very reluctant. They didn't really appreciate the value of the Supreme's name, which we might lose if we left. In the meantime, we arranged a meeting with Art Abner. Did y'all tell me it was Ewart or Ewart? Because you know y'all always downstairs in the comments section correcting a bitch. So today we gonna say Ewart. In the meantime, we arranged a meeting with Art Abner, now Motown president. Since I'd always regarded Abner as the one company executive with some compassion for the artist, maybe there was a chance. How strongly do Gene and Linda feel about sticking with the Supremes and Motown? I wondered. I found out as I sat in my home with Abner waiting for them to show up. They never did. As ever, I looked on the bright side. That's a Pisces thing. I served Abner a cocktail and we made small talk. Then I said, Abner, we are really tired of constantly touring. We are women out on the road. We'd all want a decent home life like other women. Abner listened attentively. Motown has not followed up on any of our records to date, I continued. And Abner, you know we've made some very good records. Yes, Mary, Abner replied, pronouncing my name as only he could. I know you ladies have done a fine job of keeping this group together. But what do you want? I was a little confused. I thought it was obvious, but I repeated, we need more and better promotion. Baby, that costs money, baby. That costs money. And Motown ain't got it. You the one, this is what you said. You said that Motown was on a sinking ship. And you want them to put money just towards the Supremes? What about the girl? That's why you got to be a special type of person to be able to deal with these entertainers, because they live in a dream world. You dreaming. What? Do you not see the Motown ship sinking? You the one that said that it's the 70s and we ain't the same no more. Earlier that year, Linda Jean and I were discussing our trouble getting a decent record out, when Linda suggested, why don't I talk to Stevie about it? We're still great buddies. He'll